There we go. Welcome, welcome, luminous ones. Thank you for being here, present, and co-creating this moment together with me as I bring through July's messages for this month, the upcoming, not so much the cosmic weather. I haven't been doing that lately. I've just been tuning into the hologram of whomever is here to receive this message, and that's what I'm bringing through. So these messages are specifically for you. And I just love so much doing this. So I'm going to be doing a drawing today. I've been doing a couple of sonic readings the last couple of months, but today I feel called to do a drawing. So before I do that, I would love to invite you to this upcoming sonic acupuncture session, and all the proceeds for this type of work, it's by donation, benefit my nonprofit Double the Love Foundation. And this month we'll be focusing on the Empowered Empath. So if you're here, you're probably sensitive like me, you're empathic, you pick up other people's energies and emotions really easily. You pick up the energy of the environment really easily, and it could be really difficult for you to discern what's you and what's not you. You could be having like these weird physical symptoms as a result, or your mood is affected easily. You know, you're overwhelmed. It feels like you're just maybe being drained and your energy is being siphoned off of you, and you're just very porous to everything around you. So it could be really difficult for you to maintain boundaries, right? You have to work extra hard at maintaining boundaries. And to protect yourself, you come up with all sorts of coping mechanisms, right? Maybe you need to take time away and you're someone who needs a lot of space. Maybe you just need to like tune yourself out, and you've come up with, you know, maybe some healthy ways to do it or not so healthy ways to do that. You know, maybe you need to get out in nature a lot to help kind of come back to yourself. But, you know, I don't, you know, having learned how to do this for myself for, gosh, I used to never be able to get people out of me. They would think of me and I'd jump up and down to try to get them out of my system. And it wasn't until I met my first teacher that I felt my feet on the ground for the first time. And this is like 28 years ago now, something like that. 1997, I want to say. So a while. My math might be off, but yeah. So, you know, and you might be taking on like the people you love, right? If their health is not doing well, you take on their ailments, and there's this unconscious belief that you know, if you take on their pain, they won't suffer. But now both of you are suffering because it just doesn't work like that. You become a martyr, right? Or you suffer in solidarity. There's all these things that we as empaths, you know, experience, but it's not helping us, and it depletes our life force. So over the years, I've been, you know, trying so many different things to help me create stronger filters, more effortless boundaries, et cetera, et cetera. And, you know, it's been a process, but I have to say in the last year or so, since I've really been dedicating myself to integration of these aspects of self that are living in pain, I have become less porous as an empath. As a side effect, right? It was kind of an unexpected thing, and it wasn't something I was working on consciously, but the more integrated you become, the less porous you become, and the more that you can use your empathic ability in the way that it was designed to you know, give you access to realms of information and power that you know, which is the opposite of what's been happening, where we're like a leaky boat, right? So this is going to be the focus of this month, using sound and vision. And, you know, the sessions continually evolve. The last one we did a beautiful one-to-one facilitation. So maybe there'll be an opportunity for you to receive direct a direct experience as well as a powerful group experience. And so all the details for that is going to be July 11th, which is a Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern time. And if you can't make it live, that's okay. The replays are all available afterwards for you to download. So you can still receive the benefits of this work, even if you're not there, because if at any point in time you agree to be there for that session, you're included in the hologram for the information that comes through and the sound sonic acupuncture session that comes through for you as well. So I hope you join us. These are really powerful, gently powerful sessions. And it's a really wonderful group of like-minded people that come, and maybe you'll be called to try it for yourself. So yes, the Empowered Empath, all the link to register is in the description or wherever else you're finding this video. And yeah, okay. So let me just play a couple sounds before let's just kind of come together with the breath before we go into the drawing. So wherever you are in space and time, just close your eyes and notice how your body feels here. Notice how your breath is moving through you and breathing you, and where maybe it's not breathing you. Yeah. And then just turn your outer sight and senses inwards to the center of your heart. Connect with your highest self and the other highest selves that are here present for this journey together, this mini journey, co-creating the unfolding, which all the information I will bring through for you all in just a moment. There we go. Now take a breath in to the center of the heart and let it go. Take another breath in and let that one go. And another inhale into the lower belly, that lower heaven. Feel that connection of your life force with your earthly realm of yourself. There you go. And then gently exhale. Ooh, information just started buzzing in really quickly here. Okay, let me bring this up. Share my screen. Please be patient for one moment. There we go. And let me just do one more thing. Okay. Put it to sleep. Okay, let's see what we got going on here for July messages. I see money. I see gold coins, I see money, I see prosperity. And it's really aligned with the heart. It's like there's a part of you that's committed to no longer compromising yourself to become prosperous, and really following and listening to the guidance of your heart. And the more and more that you can do that and listen even more deeply to the one within who's communicating with you, who is you, who's that highest self of you, who loves you unconditionally and who knows the way, the more that you dive into that part of your consciousness, you connect with an infinite wellspring of abundance and prosperity. And it's by going in here and then you see it reflected out there. It's not going out there and then feeling it in here. It's quite the opposite. I was having this discussion with a friend of mine yesterday, and sometimes it can be challenging to feel like, you know, this amount of money, for example, that's beyond your imagination. You've never had a reference for it. And so tuning into that feeling might be challenging, but you can tune into a feeling that you know, and then feel how it feels just to go a little bit above that. and then let your body adjust to that. And how would it feel to go even a little bit above that, right? So let's say you know what $5,000 feels like. So maybe I can feel into 7,000. How does that? That feels doable, right? But to go from there to 20,000, your body doesn't really know where to, track that vibration. So go a little bit above and then adjust. It's like stepping into a pool, right? And you're getting used to the water, getting into a tub. You can't just get into a tub of hot water. You got to slowly make at least I do, got to adjust, you got to acclimate. So that's a way to do that vibrationally. And so, but you want to continue to just go within, tap into the infinite wellspring of abundance within your heart. And that's making choices that are aligned with you, right? It's not compromising yourself. Your integrity is very important to you now. More than ever, you started to realize how you were making these concessions and suffering as a result, right? And it might not show up in your work, but it could show up in other places. And so you really want to make choices that really are aligned with that joy or that freedom, whatever it is, that feeling that you're after. Just so you're going to check in with yourself. And the more you do that, the more things start happening for you in a beautiful way, in a magical way, ways you just can't imagine. I'll give you an example. Let me give you the example now because I can't read until the story is shared. So I was doing some sort of Facebook thing to protect my information, and I was supposed to get a code from Meta, but it wasn't showing up in my email. So I had to go look in my spam, which I rarely ever do. 3 days prior, I received an email from someone who was interested in working with me, who saw me on a webinar being interviewed, and wanted to work with me. So had I not followed those breadcrumbs, those golden breadcrumbs, as I call it, I wouldn't have connected with this beautiful client who has reached out for support, and I'm honored and blessed to be of support. So I could not have manifested that, in that way. It came to me in this circuitous way. And when it happens like that, there's more like excitement around the manifestation process. If you were to say, I'm going to manifest it and it's going to happen this way, it's not as exciting in some ways. Maybe it is. If that's your thing, go right ahead. But I like to be surprised by the universe, and that was surprising. And it's a blessing. Okay, let's see what we've got here. There's some back stuff going on. So here's a physical pattern. And it's also tied into prosperity and finances. There's some stress there. It's not as bad as I typically can see with people or in sessions, groups or individual sessions. But there is a slight discomfort there. There's also an underlying fear that's causing this dis-ease in the back. Fear, if you will, of who you'll be, right? Am I going to live up to this? The pressure you're putting on yourself is kind of starting to eat away. Am I going to be able to take on, this new whatever's coming for you? Like, am I going to be able to take that role on and do it well? Or is my body going to not support me in that? Because it's already not supporting me. So if I'm already feeling discomfort, maybe this is a subconscious way to bow out, perhaps, or to continue to dim yourself. But it's when you just take that next step, the healing will continue. You're finding your way, you're finding your balance. But go at a pace that feels natural to you. When you have the energy for something, follow that. You don't need to push yourself past anything. Then the way that things structure themselves is really organic and fractal like, rather than linear, and it becomes more natural. And so there's a experiment with it. Okay, experiment with asking yourself, what do I have the energy for? And continuing to listen to your heart and take those steps. Like, see how these things are kind of tied together here, the purple and the fuchsia red. It looks red on the screen. Here's another shade of pink. So there's a venture of starting something new here, something you've been dreaming about for a very long time, and the details are now filling themselves in. The dream might have not been as detailed because, again, you know, you're tapping into things that you never before experienced. Okay, so there's a lot of newness here, which is beautiful. Don't you think you would be bored if things, you know, happened under your control? So there's a lot of newness here, and kind of elevating yourself to another tier of yourself, I guess. Your whole being gets elevated. So, you know, you're at a different stature energetically. And in doing so, you become more comfortable with yourself. Your body can relax because you're being more authentic to yourself. All this other stuff is resistance. It's resistance. Okay, let's see what we got here. So I'm seeing like a plant that's been trying to grow, right? So the sun is there, the water is there, but the fear is keeping it from growing. But you have everything that you need right now. You really don't have, there's nothing missing. There's nothing that you can say, well, when this happens. No, you actually have everything you need now. You don't need anything else to start to unfurl towards the light. You don't have anything else that you need now to start growing and moving and expanding authentically in your unique way that you were designed to, you know, bring forth this particular music into the world. Like, you get to be you now. You have everything you need to be you. So you're not missing anything. Every time you think you're missing something, pay attention to that and remind yourself that you have everything you need now. Okay? That part of you that's saying, but wait, we need to do this. That part of you is going to continue, you know, sapping your bank account. That part of you is going to continue showing up in your back or other parts of your body. Okay? All of these parts become aligned when you realize you have everything that you need right now to do what you need to do, to be who you are now. All you have to do is be yourself right now. That's it. That's it. The more you can be yourself, like you hear a lot about authenticity and being yourself authentically, the more that you can just be you, you know, and do the things that you want to do that bring you joy, right? It just starts to flow for you more, right? You're listening to your own rhythm. You're tuning into how you feel in response to things, and that's guiding you, right? You have everything you need. You have all the equipment you need right now, right? And all you need to do is to go in here with that equipment, like tune in, and then see what tune you're in. You get to see that in the outside world. That's going to show you how in tune you are. Okay. Got one more. I hear one more thing out there that's somebody needs to hear and calling out. Okay, let's see. I see sunflowers, so if that has meaning for you, please let me know. I had a session where I was like, all of a sudden I'm like, I see lions. And then my client revealed to me that when he was a child, he used to draw lions all the time. And that took us exactly where we needed to go to have this breakthrough in the session, right? So these things have significance for you, then let me know. So I see sunflowers. And I see a little kid, maybe around the age of like 3 or 4, mostly maybe 4 years old. Feelings of abandonment, being left behind. Or their position in the family had changed, so maybe a sibling was born. So that's another way of being abandoned, perhaps, and not the focus of attention. And that's when you kind of started to turn away. So you were facing one direction, and then that hurt, that initial hurt that happened for you at this time, and maybe it's connected to other parts of your timelines as well, but for this purpose, you know, this is where you started to turn away. Like you started to This is where one of the imprints began, of not having enough. That you're not enough. There's not enough, right? So it kind of ties into what we were talking about at the beginning, of there's complete wellspring of abundance available to you, but instead of turning away like you did at this age, at this like 3 or 4-year-old version of you, you start to turn back in, right? So wherever you separated from yourself, cuts you off from this life force, you start to turn back to yourself and reconnect to this life force. You know, I can hear the slot machine, cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. Okay, dear ones, we'll keep it short for July. I hope you enjoyed what came through. Here's the complete drawing for you to contemplate. Let me know what you see. I always love to hear what you see in the drawing as well. And you can take a screenshot, and another way to interpret it is you actually rotate it and you got a lot more information. Kind of looks like a Keith Haring painting in some places. Okay. Just gonna play some chimes for you to close the little session today. But thank you again for your presence, and I hope to see you for the Empowered Empath on Thursday, July 11th, 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Okay, let's see what the chimes have to say. Abundance is all around. Just a reminder of abundance. Wisdom of the chimes. I'm going to let the chimes tell you her story herself, and you just had that feeling in your body of where she took you. But I would love to hear what resonated for you from this little July Sonic Alchemy session. And thank you for coming together with me to harmonize the nature of oneself. If you love what you receive here, let me know. Let me know. You can let me know by subscribing. You can let me know by reaching out to me directly. You can let me know by sharing it with others, and share this light with others who may be looking for it and they find it through you. Right? Okay, dear ones. Blessings.